because I really like believe in the mission of like preserving and like furthering and just getting out there into the world languages that aren't English, because I think they add different perspectives and different, like ways of thinking about the world that are really important and shouldn't go away, shouldn't be lost.
Pourquoi? Comment?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Grace, je viens du Kansas, mais j'ai habité à la Nouvelle-Orléans pendant 4 années maintenant. Et je suis manageuse des réseaux sociaux et pour les artistes et musiciens aussi.
Pourquoi? Why did you learn French?
I started learning French in my junior year of high school, and I just chose it because I thought it was a beautiful language. And then during my short 2 years in high school, I just like absolutely fell in love with the language and decided to minor in it in college. And so I came to Loyola for university here in New Orleans, and New Orleans turned out to be the perfect place to learn how to speak French. So.
Comment? How did you go about learning French?
I would say definitely like getting involved with things on campus at Loyola, like the French club, and just like taking my major classes. I have a couple of friends who speak French, and so we speak French to each other. Pretty frequently, I watch a lot of like movies and television in French, and listen to a lot of music in French. And all of those things have really helped to supplement my learning of French for sure. Speaking to my friends in French is definitely, when we first started out and we were like, okay, we're gonna do this, like we're all gonna practice our French together, it was definitely a little awkward because it was like, okay, like are we starting now? Are we starting now? Speaking French now? But I think the more you get to know people and the more you speak French with them, the more comfortable you get, and it just becomes like more natural. And sometimes now, especially like if we would go to our French courses together and then afterwards we would just continue speaking in French. I have one friend who's particularly opinionated about things, and so she would always tell me about her thoughts on class, and we would just continue like our natural discussion just in the language we'd been speaking in. So yeah, I would say just like keep persevering, keep speaking with your friends, and yeah, it eventually gets more natural.
Un petit conseil? Got a tip?
I would say my tip for someone who is in the process of learning French is find either like a musical artist or a podcast that you really like that you can listen to over and over and over again, something short that you can just like maybe one song or one like clip of an episode, and just like because each time you listen to it, you'll hear more and more things until you're like, oh, I understand all the lyrics to this song, or like this entire bit of this conversation. And I think that like repetition and like practice is really rewarding and also really helpful. There have been a lot of times speaking French, with people who are maybe not my close friends, like maybe strangers, or maybe like people I've known a few weeks, like at French meetups and things like that, where I'll make a mistake and just like go over and over and over it again in my head. But it's like, yeah, like you said, the world doesn't end, no one dies, like it's okay. And it's, I think mistakes are how you learn, and I will probably never make those mistakes again. So it's definitely a process, and I would say for people who want to do it, just like keep at it, and don't worry, because everyone who's learned a second language has been there and has made those same mistakes probably. So.
Merci d'avoir guetté ça. To find out how to get involved, visit us online.